Hi everyone, I'm the Babywearing Math Teacher, and today we're going to look at how to solve equations using the distributive property. So the first thing I want to look at is an equation with no variables. So if I'm solving this equation, I of course am going to follow order of operations, and I'm going to start by looking at my parentheses. Inside these parentheses we have 3 minus 8. So I'm going to go ahead and do that first. So 3 minus 8 is going to give me negative 5. Oops. Alright, next thing I want to do, since there aren't any exponents or square roots, I'm going to multiply. So 5 times negative 5 is going to give me negative 25. And then to that, I'm going to add 7, paying attention to my signs. I'm going to end up with negative 18. So that's how I'm going to solve an equation without any variables. Over here, we have a variable. So the first thing I want to look at are those parentheses, or those grouping symbols, and I want to figure out how do I get rid of those. Well, the only way we can get rid of them, since I cannot combine n minus 8, they're not like terms, I'm going to have to distribute. So when I distribute, it means I'm going to take this value out here, and when it's jammed up against those parentheses, it means multiply. I'm going to multiply the 3 by both the n and by the negative 8. So I'm going to go ahead and draw that out. 3 times n, which is 3n, and 3 times negative 8. Be sure not to forget to multiply it by all the values inside the grouping symbols. So here I'm going to get negative 24. I'm just going to bring down the rest of the equation. The next thing I want to look at is to see, can I combine any like terms? So like terms are terms that have the same variable raised to the same power. And of course your constants, your numbers, they're going to be like terms. There aren't any variables and we can combine them. So if I want to look here, I have negative 24 and positive 6, and when I combine those, I'm going to get negative 18. So I'm going to bring the 3n down, and then I'm going to say minus 18 and bring down equals 3. Okay, the next thing I want to do is use inverse operations to isolate the variable. So I want to save my variable for last, that 3n, that whole term weights, and I want to get rid of minus 18. So the opposite of minus 18 will be to add 18. So we're going to add 18 to both sides. Okay, over here they cancel. I want to bring down my 3n, and 3 plus 18 is going to give me 21. The last thing I want to do is get my 3 away from the n. So when they're jammed together like that, again, it means multiply. So the opposite of multiply 3 times n is to divide. So we want to divide both sides by 3, and these will cancel, and my final answer will be 21 divided by 3, which is 7. The last thing you always want to do is check your answer. So when n equals 7, I'm going to come back to my original equation, and I'm going to plug in 7 for n. So instead of writing n, I'm going to write 7, and then just copy the whole rest of that equation. Okay, and if I'm solving this equation, I want to look in the parentheses and start with 7 minus 8. 7 minus 8 is going to be negative 1, and bring the rest down. The next thing I want to do is multiply 3 times negative 1 to get negative 3. And then lastly, I'm going to combine negative 3 and positive 6, and I'm going to get 3. So that equals 3. It means my answer was correct. So again, I'm the Babywearing Math Teacher, and this was how to solve equations using the distributive property, because math is so good.